This is Jim Foster with Rita Mae Brown as we chat about her brand new novel, Full Cry. It is a novel in her hunting series, and we have broken the news that it ain't the last one, praise the Lord. One of the other books, Outfoxed, which is one I think that Rita Mae and I talked about on this program, was reviewed by the San Jose Mercury News, and they said, among other things, a rich, atmospheric murder mystery steeped in the world of Virginia fox hunting, rife with love, scandal, anger, transgression, redemption, greed, and nobility, all of which make good reading. Now, I think all of those elements are in the new book, Full Cry, and one of the things that's in the new book that we didn't get to and is a very important part of your writing, and that is how you utilize, which is a terrible word, how you celebrate animals in this book and in other books. What's that all about?
My first memories are animals, not people. And I think in a lot of ways I'm more comfortable with them than with people. And every animal on the face of the earth is a winner because the losers are extinct, if you think about it.
Yes.
So we have something to learn from everything. And once upon a time we were connected. I mean, I always think, we left Eden. They didn't. We're the ones that need to go back.
Okay. That's where the celebration of animals in your writing comes from that kind of insight, from that kind of understanding. And just to let people know how good you are at this, would you read that section of the book that we agreed upon?
Oh, sure, and thank you for letting me do it. This is a Doberman Pinscher called Raleigh and a Harrier, which is a kind of hound, talking about Sister Jane and a gentleman called Gray who's besotted with her. And so we'll start right out. Gray watched her mobile features, listened to her, and found himself completely engaged by this forthright woman. You don't flinch, do you? Oh, I do. I don't like knowing these things about myself. He says it's human. I think the entire media industry is built on just that emotion. They both laughed so hard that Golly, which is the cat, returned from her post in the library to see if she'd missed anything. What's doing? She said. High-tone talk, Raleigh replied. Why don't they just go to bed and get it over with? Golly rubbed her face against Raleigh's long black nose while Rooster wrinkled his. Because they're human, Raleigh said. They complicate everything, Rooster said without rancor, a simple observation. Golly said, she was reading this book on sex in ancient Greece and Rome. When you guys were asleep, she woke up, started reading this book. I can't sleep when she turns the light on, so I watched over her shoulder. And you know what she said? She said, life must have been heaven before guilt. Ah! And then she went on one of her tears. How clever of Judeo-Christians to put the cop inside instead of outside. You know, that's guilt. In Rome, you tried not to get caught if you were fooling around. In America, you catch yourself. She has these odd insights. I wish for her sake she weren't human. She'd be so much happier. Golly truly loved Sister. She's happy enough for a human. Raleigh, too, loved her.
Oh, she's happy enough for a human. and we carry our own limits and our own guilt, and then we go and see psychiatrists and things like that. It's a whole business, isn't it?
It surely is.
Yeah.
If they just fox hunt, they wouldn't need to go to a psychiatrist. They'd burn it all out of their system.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that with us, because I really do think it reveals a little bit about your love for animals and your great technique and your great way of sharing and writing about them. Now, let's get to the murder part. My gosh, there are 3 murders in this book. 2 of them are of people that I think the technical word is marginalized of our society.
Yeah, they're the town drunks.
Yeah, all the drunken folks. And the thing about it is that everybody thinks they just died by being too drunk. But it turns out that there's a Socratic element here.
They were poisoned with hemlock. also called cowbane in the country. You don't know that right away. Obviously, the autopsies have to come back, and nobody really cares at first because they're drunks and they've disappointed everyone too. But one of these men that is murdered was a childhood friend of Sister's, and she's watched him destroy his whole life and everyone around him. And that's what sets her off, because she remembers the good times, and she thinks no one should die like that.
And it's the foxes on one of the hunts who discover the hemlock.
Yes, they do.
And because of the way you write, they tell us where it is, and they tell us that they discovered the hemlock. See, there's a great thing going on here. The way you work with these animals and share things with us that the damn humans can't. It's wonderful.
Well, they're smarter than we are.
Well, the book is wonderful, too. The book is called Full Cry. The author is Rita Mae Brown. She's a bestseller. She's a wonderful writer. Go get it.
You're listening to Conversations on the Coast with Jim Foster. Follow us on Twitter at Jim Foster COC or send an email to jimfostercoc@gmail.com.